In this training video, I will be talking about passenger contracts, what equipment is needed, as well as where to find and accept them. Factions throughout the galaxy are now offering passenger contracts. These are either bulk groups or VIPs looking for transport to a variety of destinations, from tourist spots to planet surface ports. Before being able to accept any passenger, you must first fit at least one passenger cabin found in the outfitting service offered at ports. Newly purchased Orcas and Belugas come fitted with cabins as standard, ready to use. Cabins come in 4 types: economy, business class, first class, and luxury suites. Each contract comes with a minimum cabin class requirement, and whilst passengers can be upgraded, they can't be downgraded. Passenger cabins can be fitted to the majority of ships if they have the correct slot available. The luxury suites, however, can only be fitted to either the Orca or the Beluga liner. Once you have fitted a cabin, you can now accept a contract. These can be found in the passenger lounge section of port services. Similar to the missions board, select the faction you want to work for and then select any available contract. Contracts that you do not meet the minimum requirements to accept will be listed separately. Bulk contracts are groups of passengers looking for straightforward transport between locations. They won't have demands during the journey, nor do they react to situations such as being scanned or the ship taking damage. VIPs are more demanding than bulk passengers, but are willing to pay more in exchange. They also have traits which indicate what kind of things to avoid or what you might expect to happen whilst transporting them. These can be seen under their contracts detail screen. If you don't adhere to these, the VIP can become disgruntled and may end up leaving the ship. More on this later. The VIP will be quick to message you via your inbox if anything happens that displeases them, so keep an eye on this during your journey. Some passengers are looking for transport to faraway destinations. These are clearly called out in the mission detail screen and come with an increased time frame in which to make the journey. During your journey, you can be messaged by either the passenger or other contacts. As mentioned before, VIPs may request something extra and will pay you a substantial bonus if you choose to do so. Other, less wholesome contacts may proposition you with a credit reward to sell them the passengers instead of delivering them to their desired destination. You may also find that ships are on the lookout for your passengers and will attempt to interdict you. Contract availability is based on the simulation that drives Elite. You will find ports that are suffering from famine or civil war will have refugees looking for transit, while a system in election will have political contracts available. Passengers aren't cargo and need to be treated accordingly. All passengers have a time frame in which they expect to reach their destination that you need to adhere to. If not, they can end up becoming disgruntled and will leave the ship at the next port you dock at, regardless of it being their intended destination or not. Push them even further by not docking, for example, and they will use escape pods that come fitted in the cabins. You will not be paid for any passengers that become disgruntled, and in the event of escape pods being used, you must restock them for a price before the cabins can be used again. Some passengers will request to take in the sights and history at the many tourist spots that can now be found across the galaxy. These are fixed, persistent locations that contain a small beacon. Once you have found one, drop out of Super Cruise, lock onto the beacon, and wait for the scan to complete. Once it has, you will be sent an inbox message containing information on the location. Remember, ensure you have the correct equipment to take passengers on board and keep them happy during their trip to earn the maximum amount of credits.